Alright, we're going to take a quick look at the cytoskeleton, do a little summarizing of what all these different proteins do to support the cell. First, in red, in this fluorescent image, you can see the actin. Sometimes you'll see that called microfilaments. And then in green, you can see the microtubules. In blue, that's the DNA, the chromosomes or the chromatin. And not pictured, I'm going to be showing you in purple, the intermediate filaments. So if you look at our little cell drawing here, the actin forms this structure around the edges of the cell. And so it's supporting that external shape. It's kind of like if you ever were to do some sort of craft project and you needed, support from underneath, you might build it out of wire. That's kind of what the actin is doing. It's like this wiry structure that's supporting and holding up the cell. And so we're going to just have one cell just show you the actin. And then in that center cell again, I'm going to add the microtubules. And so they start with this central location and they head outwards and they act like a highway. They're moving vesicles to and from because they have motor proteins, kinesin and dynein, that can move along. Kinesin moves away from the nucleus, dynein moves towards it. And so they're moving things back and forth along those microtubules. And so we'll just add microtubules only to that cell as the central cell gets more complicated. We're going to keep layering. Now we're going to layer the intermediate filaments on there. And the intermediate filaments branch off of these bridges that span two cell membranes. The cell membranes of each cell are in black. And so they act to hold the cells together, but they're also supporting that internal structure of the cell and kind of just holding things in place, because once you start to add them to each cell, you're forming these desmosomes, these kind of bridges across the membrane that have these long kind of not exactly twisted, but they're not perfectly straight. So they're kind of this mesh work that acts to hold everything together. And so that's all over the cells. And so once you start, bonding the cell to the cells on all sides of it, you really get a nice mesh of intermediate filaments to support everything. And so just to recap, we've got the actin again for shape, to support that external structure, desmosomes supporting, and the intermediate filaments supporting the kind of internal structures and holding everything together. And then the microtubules for movement. And the microtubules are a very big deal because they also help the cell move vesicles around and they help the cell divide. And so you can see this great image here. In the center, you have all in the green, you have microtubules. But between those two blue regions, those are the microtubules that are helping push those chromatids, future chromosomes, apart. And then you can see the two centrioles or microtubule organizing centers kind of pulling the chromosomes their way. And so this is a great image to show you that. And then another fantastic image is from nature, and here you can see all those cytoskeletal elements again. So I've highlighted the actin, and then here's the desmosomes, the intermediate filaments again, and then the microtubule organizing center with its microtubules. And so I just want to thank the sources of the images. It's so much easier to illustrate these microscopic things when I have great images to work with. Hope that helps clear up the cytoskeleton for you.